I don't know what causes that. Hope the camera isn't going bad. It's brand new. This is how you make a two-part mold, just in case you were ever wondering. Do you guys see that blinking of the camera, or is that just here? Okay. It's not doing it a lot. It's just every now and then it just kind of blinks. Not that I've thought about with Yusuf. I don't want to lay it on too hard on Yusuf. Plus, I think some comments were made in a thread that kind of freaked them out a little bit. Whether or not it was anything legit, it freaked them out a little bit as far as taking it out of the BBG and maybe messing with them a little bit in real life, which is I hope is not the case. But I think someone was kind of pointing to some real life info that had to do with his work. So hopefully there won't be any more of that because it's supposed to all be in fun. Well, I'm not going to do all of this tonight, but this is actually a process that I really don't enjoy. So I like to just kind of do a little bit at a time and chip away at it because it's just mind-numbingly dull. But it's very important. If you don't do it right, it's costly. It's nothing worse than having $100 worth of silicone have to get chucked because you messed up the mold. Now this is what we have to remake. This is the first mold. And I ran it just about to the end of where the resin generates a lot of heat when it cures, and although silicone handles heat really well, it does eventually start to break down, and then your edges start to tear, and which is not bad, for a few, because you can usually any failures where like a little bit pulls away from the side, it ends up being a positive feature on the final casting, so you can just file it off real quick or take sandpaper and knock it off. But when it gets to be too much, then you're spending a lot of time on cleanup, so it's best just to make a new mold. But this one's probably, you could probably get, I would say, probably 3 or 4 more out of it before it'd really be a problem. This is the first copy that I poured after I made the mold, and then I set it aside and didn't mess with it at all. So we'd have one real nice one to make additional molds. The original sculpture broke when I pulled it out of the mold, which is pretty normal. Yeah, the camera's blinking here. I don't know what's causing that. I thought it was maybe because it's too close to the monitor, but that shouldn't affect a webcam. You should be made for that. No. He's not that sensitive. But he's gets hammered because I tell you what, sometimes I think people get the wrong idea. They hear Mike, giving someone a hard time, and they think, oh, okay, so now we attack. I mean, I think just the opposite. I think he's a very, very good sport. But I'll tell you in particular, I think someone posted it. They took it down, thankfully, but someone posted some info that linked to his work, and that's not cool. It's not up now. There is something with getting close to this. Are you guys seeing that flash? There's something about getting close to this thing. It's really strange. I might just order another one. Yeah, I might. I'm gonna just order another camera because I can't imagine what would be going wrong. It did it like a couple of times, like a few weeks ago, and it's not done it. But see if I like start getting really up on it, it flashes. No, I'm just starting to work another mold. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. It says pray for ruin. There's no word for downfall in Latin, but if you anything that has to do with like the meaning of downfall, there's one word for it, and it just says basically pray for downfalls. If you tried to translate down and fall, you'd end up with a quite a bit different meaning. It'd be more like the direction and of down. Uh, very rudiment. Very. I was raised Catholic, and I resisted it. And it's really my parents weren't that serious about it either. It was more like the family thing, and then they just kind of gave up on it too, and because they weren't all that committed. But Aura Pro, you hear a lot. That's pray for. It seems to be getting more frequent. Maybe I'll try a different USB port. Sometimes, it's weird things with USB. But yeah, it's doing it a lot now. It has something to do with movement. Like if you move fast, or it's really weird. No, it's not done it. It's just doing it tonight. So I'm trying to think what's running here that is not normally running. Tell you what, I'm gonna restart, but I'm gonna try to plug this into a different USB port. It could be just something really simple.